Hi everyone, thank you for stopping by. So today we're going to take a look at what is probably the smallest gold coin that was ever minted for circulation. What we have here are the Indian gold phanams that was minted for use in South India between the 17th and 18th century. The phanam was a unit of currency in South India, and these coins were hammer struck by hand. Because of this, there was actually a huge range of varieties, and no two coins are exactly the same. Now, the coins that I have in my collections are the more common Hoysala phanams from the Kingdom of Cochin and Travancore. I'll get to explaining some of the terminology during the course of this video. I'll start with a brief history and go through the specifications of the coins. Then I'll show you some examples before ending this video. But before we get into that, please leave me a like if you enjoy this sort of content, and don't forget to share and subscribe. So let's get into it. Okay, let's start with a little history. The Hoysala phanams were introduced into circulation by the Empire of Hoysala in now modern Karnataka state in India. These gold coins were minted between the 10th and the 14th century. The design was continued by various kingdoms along the Malabar coast in South India from the 14th century to the 18th century, including the Kingdom of Cochin and the Kingdom of Travancore. The Kingdom of Cochin existed between the 12th and the 19th century, the kingdom being named after its capital city, Cochin. This kingdom eventually became a princely state on the Malabar coast before merging with the larger Kingdom of Travancore in the mid-1900s. The Kingdom of Travancore was ruled by the Travancore royal family between the 17th and the 19th century. This kingdom grew to one of the richest and most powerful kingdom in South India, and at its height covered most of the part of southern Kerala. As mentioned before, Travancore merged with Cochin in the mid-1900s, and both are now part of the Indian states of Kerala, which was formed on the 1st of November 1959. The South Indian Hoysala phanams in my collection were struck by various South Indian mints during the 17th and 19th century. These probably included Cochin, Nagapadam, Masulipadam, Pondicherry, and Pulicat. The Hoysala phanam can be identified by the crescent shape over here and a series of dots on the bottom, here on the obverse of the coin. On the reverse, you will typically see what is sometimes known as the horizontal J and a series of dots below. As these coins were hand-struck, the specifications actually vary with each coin. Generally, however, the phanams were minted in 58% gold or 14 carats. They have a weight of about 0.38 grams, a diameter of around 8 millimeter, and a thickness of approximately 1 millimeter. And they will generally have a slightly convex surface. The gold phanams are very small. For comparison, I have this gold sovereign over here. This is approximately a quarter ounce of gold. And as you can see, the phanams are actually quite tiny. It's a wonder that more of these don't get lost when in use. Okay, let's go ahead now and take a look at some examples. Alright, our first example here is from the Kingdom of Cochin. This phanam was probably minted in the late 1700s to the early 1800s. Here on the obverse, you can see the crescent design. And below is a stylistic design representing a lion or a sadhula. It's believed the dots below here represent the legs of the lion. You also find some phanams with some dots above here in between the crescents. And it's believed that those dots represent the era or the ruler of the kingdom when the coins were minted. I'll show you a few examples later. So here's the reverse of the same coin. You can see the design up here. This stylistic design is believed to represent a boar or wild pig, known as the Varaha, is facing to the right. And the dots over here, the 4 rows of dots, is believed to represent the legs of the animal. There are some references that refer to this as a seated crocodile. And some will actually say that it looked like a horizontal J. Not for this phanam, but there'll be other phanams that I'll show you that actually looks like a J. Okay. My next example here is from the Kingdom of Travancore. This coin was probably minted between 1881 to 1885. You can see here on the obverse the same crescent shape, and the stylistic design below, probably representing a lion or a sadula. For this coin, you will see these 2 dots. Again, some sources says that this represent the era or the ruler of the kingdom when this coin was minted, while other sources say that this might represent the sun and the moon. Here's the reverse of the same coin, and you can see for this example, the design here very much looks like a horizontal J. This reverse design here is quite prevalent on the phanams from the Kingdom of Travancore. Again, this stylistic design is believed to represent a wild boar, and the 2 lines here is believed to be the horns of the animal, while the 4 rows below represent the 4 legs of the animal. This coin is actually quite pretty. Alright, for our third coin, I have this coin from the Kingdom of Cochin. Again, this coin was minted probably in the late 1700s to the mid 1800s. Here on the obverse, again, the crescent design. And for this coin, the stylistic design here, you can see much more clearly representing a lion. This coin is not as yellow as the previous coins, so it probably has a higher concentration of brass in it. Here on the reverse of the same coin, you can see the same design as the previous Cochin coin, with the stylistic boar over here facing to the right, and the 4 rows below representing the legs. As I mentioned previously, some references actually refer to this as a seated crocodile, while there are others that says that this is actually a conch shell. I don't think it looks like a conch shell, but whatever. Still quite interesting though. I will just show you 2 more coins. Our next coin here is from the Kingdom of Travancore, and it's probably minted between 1881 to 1885. Here on the obverse, you can see the crescent shape and a slightly different stylistic design of the lion. For this coin, we have just a single dot here. On the reverse of the same coin, we have the horizontal J design with the 2 lines going up. Again, these are representing the boar, and this probably representing the horns. And here the 4 rows are representing the legs of the animal. As I mentioned just now, the Travancore phanams usually will have this style of reverse. The final example I want to show you, I believe is from the Kingdom of Mysore, but it could be from the Kingdom of Travancore. It's probably minted again from 1881 to 1885. But the design on the reverse is quite different from the previous coins. You can see the crescent again, but the stylistic shape below here is quite different. For this coin, we can see two dots, and this is probably the remnants of another dot, but I could be wrong. Here's the reverse of the final example, and as you can see, the design is quite different from the previous coins. We now have three vertical lines, and the dots here, the 4 rows of dots, 3 of them have only 2 dots, while this one here have 3. So it's quite different from the previous coins. I believe it's probably not from the Kingdom of Travancore, but the seller that I bought it from years ago listed it as a coin from Travancore. If anybody knows, please leave a comment below and let us know whether this coin is from the Kingdom of Travancore, from Cochin, or maybe from another kingdom. Okay, before I end this video, let me just leave you some final thoughts. These gold phanams here are quite common and can be easily found on online platforms like eBay. There are actually many designs and varieties, some being considered quite rare. Now, if you're looking to buy one, be aware that there are fakes around, so be very careful when making your selection. Personally, for me, these coins are part of my collection, and I don't consider them as part of my stack. I only got these coins by winning them through auctions. Generally, I wouldn't pay more than 20% of their gold value. So if these coins have a weight of around 0.4 grams and a gold fineness of 58% or 14 carats, then the current approximate melt value for each coin is around $18 Singapore dollars. Taking into account their numismatic value, in general, I wouldn't spend more than $25 or even $30 for each of these coins, depending on their condition and color. If you are thinking of adding these gold phanams to your collection, do note that there are a lot of fakes out there, so be very careful when you are deciding on your purchase. If you do find a coin that you like, try to win it through eBay auctions, and if you can get it at the price that I mentioned just now, I think that would be an okay investment. Personally, I wouldn't get too many coins for my collection. And if you're looking to stack fractional gold coins, I believe coins such as these would make a better investment. Here we have a 1 gram gold panda. And this was the sovereign that I showed to you just now. I think these coins will make a great addition to your stack, especially if you can get it close to spot. However, again, do note I'm not a qualified financial advisor, and this video is just for entertainment purposes. So please consult with a qualified financial planner before you make such decisions. Right? Okay, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it wasn't too boring for you guys. I'll leave a link to a very interesting YouTube video about these gold phanams at the end of this video. I think the person in the video explained these coins very well, and I recommend you watch that if you'd like to know more. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, don't forget to leave me a like if you have enjoyed this content, and don't forget to hit that share and subscribe buttons if you have not done so. As always, you all please take care, be safe, and have a nice day.